So in this one, we are going to be doing my Dragon Ball Legends end of January top 10 tier list. By the way, most likely next week with Ultra Kid Buu getting his plat, and somehow if Gotenks is something competent, which I am severely doubting because Legends competency is not really the highest of high. We will see this get updated within next week, so the beginning of February, end of January, we'll see what happens, but Ultra Buuhan is now arrived in Dragon Ball Legends, so let's see where he places in the tier list, with it being actually honorable mentions. Sometimes I feel the need to put these, sometimes I don't. It depends per what's going on within the units and how they are and what they're doing, but I do think this week does pander out to be decent, with these two here being honorable mentions for me, Janemba and 13. I definitely don't think 13 is top 10. Right now, I think there's at least 3 greens within the top 5. And if I'm going to say Android 13, who is not defensive, not damaging, and also blue, is in the top 10 when there's 3 greens in the top 5, that'd be a bit stupid to me. So I'm not going to be saying all that. But I do see that people are starting to run him more often, maybe alongside Orange Piccolo, alongside Janemba, alongside Buuhan, alongside CMZ. Definitely is some usage to him that does coexist. Is he the best of the best? Is he having that MVP 17 kind of movement that he had back in the day when he first released and got his, really good aging over time, despite even dropping as a ranged unit in the UGB meta? MVP 17, he was still rocking and rolling. No, 13's not on that same, wavelength and energy, but he ain't bad. He ain't terrible. He's doing well enough, as well as Janemba. Janemba, I guess people are running 13 more because Buuhan's red, so Janemba in turn, when he gets that second gauge, he gets neutral. He can kind of fuck up Buuhan to a decent degree. Having some Mew there within, I believe, the card destruction that he has, or the key reduction, whichever one, but he has one of those muties there, which does help him combo extend and not do the worst, as well as, I would say UB4 technically goes down within this list, not really for his own fault, but more so because of a different situation, which I'll explain once we get there, but Janemba and 13 definitely runnable units that can coexist in the meta right now. Maybe there's a little bit more, but I'd say these two are not the top tiers. They're definitely going to go right into. They won't probably cause you the biggest harm. Maybe Janemba can do something from time to time. Maybe 13 could be a nuisance within his support, and some glaze can make him look better than not. But for the most part, they're just all right. They're nothing crazy, but again, they're all right enough to run. Then we get into the shared tier of 9, 10. I actually don't know how to differentiate these two, so these two are whatever. Swappable for me here, with it being Mini Vegeta at 9 and CMZ number 10. Personally, this is the way I would order it, but you could swap it. I would not care at all. CMZ, though, very good. I would say he's kind of striking that anti-meta thing that he's always been trying to do since Festival began. He was never being the meta of Festival, especially as it progressed. And within that, he's been fulfilling that role since. And he's not perfect, but again, if I'm going to have so many greens in the top tiers, I don't think those top tier greens are having the most defensive neutral setting and not the most offense, neutral setting. So I would give CMZ the give up there. I would say the best team for him would be, and it's kind of weird because his abilities are really funky, especially because double ultras, but Buuhan, CMZ, and Orange Piccolo would probably be his best team. Again, the abilities get a little weird because Ape Vegeta would be Zenka buffing, but then you can't put that because Piccolo wouldn't get it. We have to Leer slot CMZ, you have to put regen bench. It gets funky again, like I say, but I think CMZ can show promise. I'll probably personally just end up 2xing the guy and then just 1x Buuhan at that point, and then just let Orange Piccolo do his thing, because Orange Piccolo really is just a fucking god right now. But CMZ, again, does well against the greens, can do well against the yellow man there. The biggest issue I actually run into at CMZ is going to be a big issue within the entire list is Gohan, because Gohan will waste his lock-in capability settings, and, those cards are getting sealed off and everything. It's just going to happen so early on in the game, where if that lock-in ends up happening, 30 counts later, you just will die in those settings instead of live. And I would say that team that I just mentioned, Piccolo, CMZ, and Buuhan, while it is having some bulkiness within Piccolo, let's say you're fighting like a ranged SG and he's just built like crazy. He's 2x, he's running with Piccolo, he's just running with some crazy setup. Piccolo's not going to tank that. He'll tank it well, but SG is going to destroy CMZ, destroy Buuhan, destroy everybody. So there is some things that CMZ can get nuked and frankly plowed through, but again, not doing the worst, definitely fitting the mold that he is trying to fit, and doing better than his counterpart of Red MZ, which initially, when they first both dropped together within the unique equip as well as the Ultra, a lot of people had them 1 to 2, and now I would say Red MZ is anywhere near CMZ, so the Ultra Age is better than the LF. I don't think this will happen. The same thing with Piccolo to Buuhan. I think it's going to be complete opposite. But, it is interesting to see that CMZ did at least out-age his partner in crime there. Then, you do see Mini Vegeta. I actually ran Vegeta just a couple of games versus Buuhan in LBR, and it wasn't terrible. I mean, I did one blast card to a Buuhan and did 60% because Mini Vegeta is obviously neutral for a decent bit of time. And he did 60%, so he's got some potency to it. It's more so you'd run him on a Glaze team. I think Koresh did a video on it, and I've seen it. I've run a little bit. 13 SG, Mini Vegeta is 2x there. SG's on the team being Zenkai buff, then 13's just there, helping that amplification. Which again, there's kind of a usage for 13 that coexists, and he will always have that kind of let's just be stupid usage. And well, sometimes it works out very well for you, sometimes it doesn't. And Mini Vegeta can benefit from that. Diamond Campaign being a shit show that coexists in this game is unfortunate for them because you're never going to run Mini Vegeta there. He was never even intended, seemingly, for Daima, so I don't know what the fuck's going on there. And yeah, I guess you could also, by the way, just as a note, Adult Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta could touch honorable mentions here. I mean, I don't know if I'm being nice there. I think I'm being way too generous with saying that, but he won't make the list here. I'll just say, if you want to put him on mention, you can argue it, I guess. I mean, there's so many greens that already exist. There's no role he's fulfilling that these other greens don't fill within their own roles. So, do what you want there. But then we move on into Mr. Number 8 of Mr. Namek Goku. And yeah, that man do be low now. Holy shit, he's almost fallen off top 10 list. Thank God, which he deserves. But, hold on. Beautiful sip, beautiful sip. Namek Goku, though. What's the problem? Not much, but, numbers. Numbers happen. Numbers gain more. We get more guard, we get more damage inflicted, we get more blah, 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 blah. Guess what? The unit that's having lesser numbers is going to go down. That's just the inevitability of PvP. This is what we saw with, I would say, primarily Fast Super Saiyan 3 Goku. It's not like he even, fell off his kit. His infinite combos still could coexist in this game. We've seen it a billion times. Units here on this list, infinite combos still. But his numbers fell off, so he was tickling so much and doing so little damage, there was just no point to ever run him anymore. Same thing kind of vibe to UMV there. It's just UMV had more utility, so he was getting run a little bit more instead of Super Saiyan 3 Fest. And Namek Goku's starting to feel that. Him being, 8 months old at this point, he is not new. He is, again, approaching a longer time in the depths of PvP, and within that, he is going to get, maybe one shot by Buuhan, or I've seen it where Piccolo, the new Power Awakening Piccolo, unique equip, buffed character, had it where he strike blue card at Buuhan and it damn near killed him. He was at 15-10% health. Strike and blue card. That was all it was. Now imagine Namek Goku took that. He's dead. I could probably just do the blue card and KO guard pop within that. And that's Power Awaken pre-revival Piccolo. That's how good Piccolo is, and that's how weak some of these units are nowadays. You don't have the guard to back up a lot of your defense on a lot of these characters unless you are Red MZ pre-Fest or Piccolo right now, and even then Piccolo is definitely not the bulkiest unit ever. He definitely is one of, but he's not the bulkiest. It still goes to Gohan, funny enough. But within that, you die so quick, your KO guard becomes less and less relevant. And I've seen Namek Goku a fuck ton less. I've probably ended up seeing, and maybe it's more so testing just because it's a newer season, a new unit, whatever, but I probably end up seeing 13 equal to Namek. Janemba maybe in the same vein. CMZ kind of floating a little bit below that, but Namek's getting less run. All he's doing is making the unoptimized teams, a little bit better off, and he's working on unoptimized teams, but he's never going to be on the best team right now. He just is too weak, and there's nothing really enough resourceful. Again, KO guard is super resourceful, but even then, if you're going to lose your mechanic so fast, why even run the character with that mechanic? KO guard is just falling down within the character here, not really of course, mechanic itself, but Namek Goku's old, so he's going down, which, good. I mean, KO guard was a very bad design philosophy because all it does is just leader slot slop, leader slot slop. Ultras already are that. Now it's doing it, and it's making you have extra stupidity. He still has broken mechanics, still annoying as fuck, but definitely is not the top dog that he once was, a couple of months ago there. Then we move on to number 7 of Hitku. I'm not really sure how to rank Hitku fully. I think they're a bit of a weird one because clearly they can do potential, they can do great things, and there is greens in the top tiers, so I'm not going to downplay them badly, but they're also kind of just not ever run on a team that is perfect? I mean, what team is their best team? I don't really even know if they have a specific best team. Sure, you can run them with Namek Goku. Sure, you can run them with 13. You can run them with Orange Piccolo. You can run anything. You can do everything. You can FSK with them. Whatever. You can do anything. But what is their actual best? I don't think they even have a best primary team, because I think every team they have was going to have a flaw within themselves. And more so than that, while they are good against, obviously, yellows and greens are on this list, as you can see, primarily being yellows and greens, actually, alongside a little bit of red, but, yellow, green being, one of those top-tier choices. Them just being able to snipe out is cool, but how long can that last before they die is really the question you always get to ask, because the few times I fight Hiku, because I don't fight them that often, because people just don't want to run them, for whatever reason or not, they can do their blue cards and get this guy low, and get that guy low, and get him low, and pop revival, and pop this, and do that, and the other. But then what happens when I catch you with my Gohan, or my FSG that's neutral, or my subcounts are screwing you over, or I catch you on Goku hit, and then I Orange Piccolo couple strike card to you, and then what the fuck happens there? They end up dying, right? Obviously, they are good offensively, but there's so much defense to be just pronounced that's not coexisting. I don't know how to rank them higher, because there's no finite team that they're ideal on, and the teams they are great on are only great, and they're not, like, amazing. They're not that caliber of the best of the best. So I do think Hiku does manage a little 7 spot there. Above Namek Goku is actually pretty solid, shout. So that's not bad. It's just, I don't know how to put them higher. I don't know if they can ever be, like, a top 3 unit. I don't think they have that potential in their kits. I don't think anything in their kit gives them top 3 motion. But then we go on to number 6, after number 7 there, of UV4. UV4 does go down. I think UV4 is showing a similar vein to Mr. Nameku, where fragileness is being experienced. I've seen it again where Piccolo is just doing typical strike cards, and this is Piccolo. Again, I'm mentioning Piccolo because he's the weakest of, let's say, these green units initially on just first entry. Maybe SG pre, but like, you get SG fused a lot faster, you get Piccolo revived. All right, I would say that's pretty easy. And Piccolo pre is like 2 cards, and Vegeta's knocking on death's door, me like, what do I do? Holy shit, I can hardly breathe. Like, bro's gasping for air, like, and it's Power Awaken Piccolo doing 2 strike cards, and it's like, brother in Christ, what the fuck's going on? Like, I get it. Like, again, this guy is what? At this point, he's, what, was he right after? Who happened next? CMZ was before Fest, so this guy was he's 6 months old? Probably like that, actually. So number 6 months old, there you go. Because he was after the Ultras, right? And then, I believe so. Yeah, it was him, then CMZ, then Fest, and then blah, 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 wherever the fuck we are now. But he is very frail. Obviously, he can't do well. He is one of the only units in the game that can deal with Buuhan's mechanism of the auto counter, because he just has that gauge, and then he goes bop, 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 or primarily blast cards, because he does like doing blast cards. He does obviously have the team within Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, as well as Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which is still one of those better teams in the game right now. I would not call it the best. I think there's new best team in the game. If you didn't see, best team in the game video, gonna be at the end of the video here if you want to watch that. Have a blast. It's great. It's stupid, but it's great because at least it's a different team. That's the best. But UV4, he's kind of striking Red MZ more so than anybody. He is having super, super frail settings that you can see very often, but his damage burst potential and potency is definitely up there and still is a problem for a lot of teams. Is it the biggest problem that's ever been? No, it's not. It's not him when he was glazed with Bombku and GT3Ku and he was just fucking destroying everybody. Nah. He's not all that. But he is still making some waves. It's just not the waves that he was once making prior to. Again, him being more frail than anything else is what's hurting him the most. But again, even then, his damage is not the most obscure, ludicrous thing, because you have this proc that happens, you have this blue unit, you have this revival guy that's a beefy unit. Like, you have things that can kind of segue it to where, yes, he's hitting you, but it's not hurting you as bad as you would anticipate. And I think that's kind of just one of the bigger emotions why he does have to move a little bit down there. Then we get to the top 5, and oh my god, look at the list down here. Holy shit, 3 greens, a blue, and a red. Wowee. Number 5 is, unfortunately, Ultra Buuhan. Yeah, I gotta tell you right now, Ultra Buuhan is the weakest Ultra we've ever seen on initial release. There is no debate within it. Again, if people are going to mention Broly to me, because I know people fucking hate Broly. I don't know why they fucking hate him. Broly at lowest, and this is, considering the normal stars people would have him at, I believe was placed 2 if not 3 for most people. It would be Cooler as number 1, then it would be Revhan as number 2/3 with Broly, and if Broly was high stars, people would debate him as number 1 or 2. So that's where Broly was on initial release, the first week of it, the weekend of his release, essentially, like we are here with Buuhan. And Buuhan is here for me. I guess we go into the territory of talking about how the best team in the game inflicts him, because it does make a big argument to this case. And the way to stop Buuhan from being productive within his best mechanic of the auto countering that he has is to run 2 things together: cancel buff effect and a blue unit. And right now you can run SG, who has cancel buff effect, and Gohan. So you could have it where it's very simple. 2 things you could do. Honestly 3, but 2 primarily. You could have it where SG initially, on purposeful, pops Buuhan's gauge, and then you could swap Gohan to be blue and just take no fucking damage because you cancel the neutral, because the blue card does make him neutral Buuhan. Or, and you get to continue doing that. Or you could even do the opposite way where you let SG pop it, or Gohan pop it, let anybody pop it, then you let SG get hit by it, they 50% proc, and then they get their fusion faster, so you get Buuhan's 2 procs where he spawns the blue cards, he doesn't spawn the blue card in the 3rd one. Even though he can't combo total, most people just don't because they don't have it ready because they can't predict when it'll happen. But then you get the fusion so fast, and you popped Buuhan's main asset that he wants to have 24/7. You got that out so quickly, and now you're full health because you just fused. And now you have 2 revivals who, if they took the hits, then they can just revive and get back to damn near full health, if not full health within Orange Piccolo. You can just nullify his best mechanic and just make it more so or not irrelevant in a match. And that's the best team in the game that could do that. That's not just an obscure team. That's the best team. Because nothing's going to stop a double green, double glaze, triple glaze, whatever the fuck you want to do, team that exists. And then Gohan being as Gohan is, and I'll talk about him when we get to Gohan, but Buuhan just gets fucked over by that. Buuhan does not have crazy damage on his Striker Blast. Again, I can't acknowledge that his blues can't hit hard, because they can. His green card being a long animation is fucking moronic. It should have, for one, been the barrier, because when the fuck do I give a shit about Buuhan doing a goddamn I-beam, bro? Buuhan is a barrier type of guy, so let my man barrier up. It sucks, because I think this release is pretty cool. Him being an auto unit is obviously stupid, but, the character's cool. The character deserved a very cool aesthetic of this, as well as a high rarity unit, LF or Ultra, if not, one or the other. It just sucks, because he's not really something I fear. He's more something I just deal with. He's a nuisance. He's a wannabe UMV without any of the UMV traits. He doesn't have a lock-in thing. He doesn't have individuality prowess. This guy can barely even combo extend. Orange Piccolo destroys 2 cards on his cover. If your Buuhan doesn't have his gauge, which a lot of times he probably doesn't because you're staying in way more than you need to, or you're just swapping him in to try to end the combo, then it's nothing. He doesn't have a disrupt. He doesn't really disrupt. He just can't deal with the disrupt very well. Like, there's so little he can do to actually do stuff that's not relying on the blue card. I will give him the credit though. His blue card again hitting hard, as well as his ult. His ult is definitely the hardest hitting ultimate that has an AoE in the game, because if you do that shit neutral, you will be nuking. But again, where I segue into the point of, unfortunately, that doesn't really matter when you're fighting against a revival and another character that can full heal. It doesn't matter if that ult hits that hard, because all those characters are going to be full health by the end of the next 20 counts, whether it be they revive, whether it be you fuse, whatever happens, that's going to continuously flow within. So, really weird unit. Him being red also is just jarring. I don't know why the fuck we need another red. We have Red Miniku, who's solid, which, he's not making the honorable mentions. Super Vegeta, who could have been honorable mentions. Hitku, UV4, MZ is good damage, at least. It's not shit defense, good damage. That's a couple fucking reds. Why is bro red? Like, it makes no fucking sense. I guess they were expecting Orange Piccolo to be such a good unit that they covered Buuhan, but then while Orange Piccolo can do very good, he still can also be a Gohan victim, so it's like, I don't know what they were thinking, like, oh yeah, we can make this guy red because Orange Piccolo is just gonna, make him, not scared of Gohan at this point. Well, bro, Buuhan shivers at Gohan. If you get one sidestep catch on Buuhan and you just pop Gohan's main, dash forward, blue card, they caught them on a sidestep, he's dead. That's not changing. Bro dies. You can have Buuhan die within a rush, within a Gohan blue, within, I've seen Orange Piccolo's fucking 100-0 Buuhans, bro. He is not defensive. Especially because doesn't his damage card build up over time? It doesn't. Isn't that part of his kit? Which is fucking terrible. There's so many weird flaws within him because he has the auto gauge, and they always do this with some just random characters at this point. I don't know how the fuck they even determine it. But he has so many flaws. Again, I can't take away from his big damage that he does on big moves, and I'll acknowledge that, and I'll accept that, and I'll take that with, you know, the placement of him. Again, number 5 is not bad. It's just for an Ultra, this is really fucking bad. I mean, I don't know the last time I saw an Ultra get placed below top 3 on initial release. I think the worst thing was like Frieza and Nameku, and the only issue there was that, well, it's double Ultra, so one of them's not going to be number 1. The other one is obviously going to be number 1, if anything, so I guess this is like that. But even then, I don't know, man. He's very confusing to me why he exists the way he does. If he was any other color, he would most likely be at least 3, at least. But him being red just fucks him so badly because Gohan exists. And again, Gohan doesn't care about greens. Gohan did not care about FSG. Gohan did not care about Forku. Sure, were they annoying for him? Sure. But did he care and, like, fear them? Fuck no. Gohan could destroy them as easily they could destroy him. If not, maybe a little easier for them, but it wasn't too far off, especially him being a fucking blue and them being green. So, I mean, how the fuck would this red help hurt Gohan? I don't know what the fuck this is meant to do. And I guess you could say Namek Goku went down because of Buuhan, but, like, it's not even that. I just don't feel like Namek Goku just needs to be run anymore. So I don't know what the fuck Buuhan's meant to do. He's number 5, but it's so confusing what this unit is. I get lost on him, and that's where I leave it. We'll see next week what happens with Ultra Kid Buu's plat, like I said, and somehow if Ultra Kid Buu's like top fucking 3, which I'm very severely doubting, he is not having that UUI potential in my eyes, unless he's got 100-0 on his blue card locks, which again, I don't fucking see that happening because he didn't even do that on initial release when he was top 1 in the game. Unless that's happening, Buuhan has to take care of the fucking trash, even though SG could probably like green card, 3 card Buuhan, or Kid Buu, like he fucking does, because he's really fucking good SG, and people downplay SG. Unless that's the case and Buuhan just needs to come out to fucking destroy. I don't know. Buuhan's only going down from here, bro. That's all I know. This is a terrible spot for an Ultra, and I guess it's balanced, but you would probably want people to summon for the Ultra, and I've never recommended an Ultra to be summoned for less, despite an Ultra I was actually excited to summon for, so there's that. Then move on into number 4 with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, which actually does strike the chord within UV4 for me, because Super Saiyan 4 goes down within having no real idealized ally. UV4 being so frail really hurts Super Saiyan 4 Goku, because Super Saiyan 4 Goku is number 1 for a lot of people when he's with a GT ally. Okay, fair. Well, UV4 is getting bitched by so many characters in this game, within Buuhan, within Super Saiyan 4, within units above here, within units below him. He gets bitched. He really does just get bitched. And I think that hurts Super Saiyan 4 Goku because, well, now I'm trying to run Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and I have an ally that's going to get fucking keeled over within just a couple cards. That kind of lessens the need for Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and more so than that, it's just the other greens don't need to rely on somebody else. So while Super Saiyan 4 most likely could be argued individually better than maybe the units above him, it's just that team thing where he really wants the GT thing, and it does make a difference. I would say him, again, with GT ally versus not, is like at least 2 or 3 spots above where he would be without one. It feels weird to try to run him with, let's say, that trio that exists, especially with how you're going to run to double greens, and then Piccolo's going to fuck over Vegeta's so fast, then here's double green, so Gohan's really just kind of on edge. He's not scared, Gohan, but he's a little bit like, shit, there's 2 greens here, bro. Like, I got to lock in real quick, and you have kind of a liability in UV4. I mean, again, I don't blame Goku for going down. I more so blame just the GT ally thing. We don't really have a good GT ally that can actually fucking take a hit, because UV4 does not take a hit. So he goes number 4 there. Again, not his own fault, more so just the helpfulness of what these units above him have gained. And we can see it here within top 3, and number 3 being LF Orange Piccolo. Yeah, this man, whoo boy, I did not expect this shit, but when I saw he got 150% guard, which is 20 or 30% at peak. No, 20% at peak. More guard than T3 got on his entire Zenkai. I was like, holy shit, he might be back. And yeah, he's back. Piccolo, kind of, around the 0.5 out of 3, or 0.5 out of 2 on his initial release. You could argue he was like a 1 out of 3 or 1 out of 2 initial release. His first unique being as shit as it was, Obviously did not really succeed. And then this unique, I mean, at least he's a 1 out of 3. He could be a 1.5 for a lot of people, but I'll give him a 1 out of 3 here. This man is frying. Again, the damage I've been speaking about this entire time. This man can cook. The only limitation to him is his cover null setting. But within that, the issue that arises within, that could be his limitation, is that he hits hard as shit. So you don't really need that long of cover null, because this man's nuking. And let's say you're fighting Super Saiyan for Goku. I don't give a fuck about low cover null. I'm not gonna be able to combo most cards. But when I do the cards I do, I'm gonna beat the ever-living tar out of your dumbass. So him running alongside no purples in the game right now, as you can see here, it's very fucking limited. Gets super stocks up. Clearly when a purple does drop, and they're actually fucking good, very tough for Legends to do, but fucking good purple, sure, it'll go down, but for now, I mean, bro is vibing, bro is driving. You're going to run him on a 2x, 3x setup just because you can within a movie's team. Realistically, if you're going to run Buuhan and Piccolo, I would just be glazing fucking Piccolo, because Piccolo is better than Buuhan. I'm sorry to say. It's just he does more in his kit. He has more safety. He has more supporting. He just has better mechanisms to be in this meta than Buuhan. Buuhan could just get fucking one card victimized. And hey, Piccolo can't, so there's that. This man is fantastic. Again, the team for him will be actually the top 3 in the game, so it actually does make sense why he is in the top 3. The best team in the game would be within those allies above him. So this man cooks. If you've run him even for 2 seconds, I'm not sure if he's a star merchant. I would probably correlate him to MZ there, where sure, at 14 stars, he's like this broken deity god, and this is like his pinnacle, but maybe a lower stars, he probably lower him a little bit, probably above Buuhan or tied to Buuhan there. I definitely wouldn't put Piccolo ever below Buuhan right now, is what I'll say, though. If he's lower star or high star, I would say Piccolo's still above. But then we go on into the last 2 here, being number 2 and number 1 of SG number 2 and Gohan at number 1. SG gaining more stock within having another ally that just gives him more viability to be glazed. If you're going to run double greens, well, then you can run double green Zenkai buffs. You can run Dragon Fist Goku, and then you can run DBZ Green Broly, Spirit Bombs or Goku, whatever the fuck you want at that point. So you're running 2x. Sometimes people run 3x of green movie units, and again, no fucking purple exists, and you're still just fucking destroying. People like to downplay SG as like not even top 3, despite the fact that SG is a better team than Super Saiyan 4 Goku. By far, by the way, a better team. UV4 is not better than Orange Piccolo. UV4 is not better than SG. So Goku is objectively a worse team than SG and Piccolo. And even if he is better individually, it's a team fucking game. And then Gohan's on both teams, which Gohan would probably, prefer a team where his allies are glazed instead of not, because on the other team, it's 1xing everybody. Here, it's 2 to 3xing your guys on this team. So SG, more stock up. He just destroys everything when he gets into SG. Again, those 50% procs within Buuhan situation I already mentioned happens. You could do that with Super Saiyan for Goku. You could do that with UV4. Just having that disrupt, that is nice, and a lot of units cannot circumvent it. Within SG's pre-state is helping him tons, as well as, to also mention, SG gets better with more movie or fusion. So he has another movie ally here. He has more guard. He has more damage. He's actually just hitting harder than most times you see him, as well as Piccolo supports other allies 15% on first main. Not himself, but other allies. Then Gohan supports 30% on revival state. So SG has extra damage as well as extra support. SG's looking like he's run with Android 13 when he's actually just run with Gohan and Piccolo. Like, it's insane how SG can look. And that guy just destroys most things except Gohan sometimes. Gohan is number 1. It's funny how it works out where we have 3 greens in the top 4. And Gohan's still number 1. The raid boss continues the unfairness of Dragon Ball Legends. It's stupidity, because this should not be real. I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at here. This is stupid, but it is accurate as well. Gohan just stacks so much damage inflicted, where even if he's, hitting an SG pre-revival state, and then he will 50% proc by just spamming normal cards, there's nothing you can do. He just will do that every fucking time. And then let's say you get caught on a stupid setting, and, with the cancel buff effect happening, Gohan catches you on like a main ability, pop, drop combo, blue, and then he catches you on a sidestep within your SG, and they just 50% proc, but he just had main because it's 10 counts, and then boom, you can just lose your FSG right there, pre-fusion state, and they're just fucking toasted because Gohan, and he's a blue who just did all this within the first 15 counts of a match. And that could happen so easily. I've seen it a billion times, I've done it a billion times. He's just stupid. I mean, we know Gohan's stupid, but like, this is stupid. Again, it makes no sense on paper how this blue gain value within a green god being top 3, but he did. There's no one else you would run on this team that would make it better. You're not going to run Super Saiyan 4 on this team. You're not going to run Buuhan. There's no one that makes this team, of this trio, better than Gohan. So, Gohan is just the one. It makes no sense. Piccolo could try to tank him, but once Gohan's getting Gohaning, no one's fucking tanking him. Even with this team that I'm running here, and you're seeing here, you're not even Zenkai buffing Gohan. You can't, because you have to put Gohan leader, and you have to put Orange Piccolo, and then you put the movie benches, and whatever. You can't! But even then, he's still fucking probably like at least 55 to 60% of the match destroying. Sure, the other two can do a cool 20-20. It's still Gohan. It's just always Gohan. I don't know what the fuck this is. It makes no real sense, again, on paper, but it is that. I mean, I wish it wasn't the case. I don't want to go on up here. There's 3 fucking greens, bro. What the fuck do we have to do to get this man lower? I don't know. I'm waiting for some fucking messiah, which I don't even think will happen. Like, how do you actually stop Gohan? This isn't even about his gimmicks and his mechanics of AoE and all the other bullshit. It literally is. He stacks so much damage with such high damage numbers and such high damage stats, or high stats generally. How do you actually stop him? He's stacking 20% as if an Ultra. Ultra Janemba would stack 20% damage inflicted per card clicked. And that's like an Ultra thing. Like, Ultras do that from time to time. At least a lot of them try to do that stacking damage thing while spamming, or Cup Pen, whatever. And then Kid Buu. Gohan's doing that. And he has the crazy stats. And he has the safety. Like, how the fuck do you actually stop this thing? It's just a menace to society. Like, that's all it is. It's fucking stupid. But Gohan's number 1, and that's legend. That's just legend shit. What the fuck do you want to do? But this is my tier list for the end of January here, with it being FSK Gohan number 1, LFSG number 2, Orange Piccolo number 3, that unique equip doing mountain moves there, Super Saiyan 4 Goku Ultra number 4, Ultra Buuhan number 5, yikes, Ultra Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta number 6, number 7 is Hitsuku there, number 8 is Ultra Namek, number 9/10 shared is Mini Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, as well as Ultra CMZ, and then honorable mentions is LF Janemba and LF13. Let me guys think of my top 10 list at the end of the month, and I'll see you guys in the next one.